Rick Grimes wakes up in a silent hospital room with no memory of how long he has been unconscious. The last thing he remembers is being shot in the line of duty while chasing a suspect with his partner, Shane. The room around him looks abandoned. The flowers on the table have rotted, the machines are unplugged, and the hallway outside the door is littered with papers and bloodstains. As Rick pulls himself out of bed and into the empty halls, he feels a strange weight in the air, something heavy and wrong, something he cannot yet understand. He finds locked doors with chains stretching across the handles. A warning is painted across the metal, telling him not to open it. Fingers reach through the crack, pale and twitching. Rick stumbles away, still confused and weak, and finally makes his way outside. The world he once knew is gone. Burned-out cars line the streets. Bodies lie half-eaten. A bike sits abandoned next to a decaying corpse. He takes the bike and heads to his house, hoping to find Lori and Carl. The house is empty. Rick calls their names, but his voice echoes hollow off the walls. He falls to his knees on the floor of Carl's room. He has no answers and no idea where his family went. While outside, he is struck by a blow from behind and collapses. When he wakes up, he is tied to a bed inside another house. A man named Morgan Jones stands over him with a gun. Morgan isn't sure if Rick is infected or dangerous. After a tense moment, he decides Rick is human and unties him. Morgan and his son, Dwayne, explain that the world fell apart after a strange sickness spread. People who died came back to life. They attack the living. They never stop. Morgan shows Rick the rules of survival, teaching him what the walkers are and how to kill them. Rick slowly pieces together what happened while he was unconscious. He learns the government tried to evacuate people. He learns that big cities were overrun fast. Through Morgan, Rick gets his first view of a world where, inside the CDC, the group enjoys a rare moment of rest. They eat a proper meal, sleep in real beds, and try to remember what normal life felt like. Dr. Jenner watches them with a quiet sadness. He explains how he has been studying the infection, showing them a recording of a brain scan taken from a test subject. They see the brain die and then reanimate, sparked back to activity by the mysterious pathogen. He explains that once the higher brain functions shut down, there is no coming back. Only the primal, aggressive instincts remain. The revelation crushes any hope that the walkers could be cured. Still, the CDC gives them temporary safety, but beneath that brief peace lies something darker. Dr. Jenner has been running the facility alone for too long. The generators are almost out of fuel. When they run dry, the CDC will go into full lockdown and destroy everything inside to prevent contamination. Jenner did not tell them this at first. Rick grows suspicious when he notices sealed doors and restricted areas. Lori senses something off in Jenner's tone when he warns them not to expect miracles. One night, the power flickers. The group wakes to alarms blaring through the building. Jenner finally confesses the truth: the CDC is going to self-destruct. There is nothing he can do to stop it. Panic spreads. Everyone argues. Shane pushes Jenner, demanding answers. Jenner stays calm and says this is the only mercy left in a world without a cure. He believes dying peacefully inside the CDC is better than surviving outside with no hope. The doors seal, trapping them inside. The group begs Jenner to release the locks. Andrea refuses to leave. She has lost Amy and feels empty. Jenner tries to convince them that going back outside only leads to more pain. But Rick refuses to give up. He argues, pleads, and finally convinces Jenner to open the doors, at least long enough for them to escape. Jenner whispers something in Rick's ear before they run. Rick is stunned, but this as he sees. The injured man they bring back from town is young and terrified. His name is Randall. He insists he was not part of the attack, only a tagalong caught in the wrong place. Rick wants to interrogate him and learn whether his group is dangerous. Shane wants to kill him immediately, arguing that anyone from a hostile group is a threat. The other survivors are divided. Dale argues passionately that killing Randall is murder and that they cannot lose their humanity. The rest of the group is worn down by fear and violence, and they lean toward Shane's view. Carl begins to change under the trauma around him. He steals a gun, gets into trouble with walkers, and grows colder in how he looks at the world. Rick worries but doesn't know how to teach Carl hope in a world with so little left. Lori urges Rick to keep Shane under control, hinting that Shane believes he should lead the group and be with her. The pressure builds until the conflict between Rick and Shane becomes unavoidable. Rick, Shane, and Daryl debate what to do with Randall. They try to release him far from the farm, but he claims he knows where the farm is because he once went to school with Maggie. That revelation terrifies the group. It means Randall's group could return. They tie him up again. The debate grows harsher. Shane argues it's better to kill Randall before he leads anyone back. Dale is appalled and begs them to reconsider. As night falls, the others agree to execute Randall despite Dale's protests. Before they can go through with it, Dale is attacked by a walker while walking alone across the field. Daryl puts him out of his misery. His death breaks something inside the group, leaving them shaken. Rick cannot bring himself to kill Randall afterward. He decides to spare him until they can find another way. Shane sees this as weakness. His resentment toward Rick grows into something darker. He leads Randall into the woods under the pretense of releasing him, then kills him. He breaks his own nose. Michonne reaches the prison and collapses near the fence with baby formula she took from Woodbury, proving she knows who lives inside. Rick's group brings her in, but Rick doesn't trust her at first. She explains how she escaped Woodbury, what the governor is capable of, and how Andrea stayed behind. The group is shocked to learn Andrea is alive. Rick weighs Michonne's warnings carefully. He knows they can't afford new enemies but also can't ignore danger. The governor starts gathering soldiers, supplies, and information. He sends Merle to capture Michonne, but Merle fails. Instead, Merle and some men capture Glenn and Maggie during a supply trip. They take them to Woodbury, where the governor tortures Glenn and threatens Maggie, trying to learn the location of the prison. Glenn holds out as long as he can, and Maggie endures the governor's intimidation, but eventually they break and reveal the truth. Rick and Daryl lead a rescue mission with Michonne guiding them through back routes into Woodbury. The attack is violent and chaotic. They rescue Glenn and Maggie, but in the confusion, Daryl is captured. Merle is revealed to Andrea, who is stunned to learn her former group is alive. The governor sets up a spectacle, planning to execute Daryl in front of the town. Merle is forced into the ring with him. The brothers are ready to fight for their lives, but Rick's group rains gunfire into the arena and rescues them both, escaping back to the prison. At the prison, tensions rise again. Rick doesn't want Merle there. Glenn hates Merle for what happened to him and Maggie. Daryl chooses to leave with Merle rather than abandon his brother. Rick struggles with the weight of leadership more than ever. His grief over Lori still haunts him. He sees her standing in shadows or walking down hallways. The hallucinations shake his confidence, and the others start to worry he's losing control. The governor prepares for war. He sends shooters to attack the prison's guard towers. A.T.